You ever watch a grown woman in a pink tracksuit scream at a steel ranch gate like she's trying to summon the HOA gods? Yeah, that happened right at the end of my driveway. Dust swirling, sun beating down, and there's Karen Wilkins, sunglasses cocked on her head, one hand clutching her purse like it's about to explode, the other jabbing her cell at the intercom. My wife's voice, sharp as a cattle prod, crackled through the speaker. "Ma'am, step away from the gate." But Karen wasn't listening. She starts hollering, "You can't lock me out. This is HOA property. I demand access. If you've never witnessed a suburban power trip collide with Texas barbed wire, you're missing out." Now here's the kicker. Karen dials 911 right then and there, demanding police backup because the homeowners have locked me out illegally. What she didn't know is the dispatcher taking her call was my wife, Angela. She was volunteering at the sheriff's office that week. Yeah, just my luck. Angela played it cool, flagged the call as trespassing, sent out Deputy Rodriguez, and sat back to see what happened next. 10 minutes later, Rodriguez rolls up, and instead of busting us, he cuffs Karen right there on the gravel. She's shrieking, neighbors are peeking through their curtains, and I'm on the porch with a glass of iced tea trying not to laugh out loud. But hey, let me back up a sec so you know how this mess even started. I'm Jake Reynolds, 42, retired firefighter, lifelong horse guy, and the proud owner of a ranch that's supposed to be my slice of quiet after 2 decades running into burning buildings. Angela's my backbone. Smart Steady calls it like she sees it, and homeschools our daughter Emily when she's not managing the ranch, or, sending trespassers to jail from the comfort of her office chair. 6 months back, we bought this place. Old land, honest dirt borders the back end of Sweetbriar Hills, which is the kind of HOA neighborhood where people measure their lawns with a ruler and smile with their teeth, not their eyes. Karen, she's their president, thinks she runs the moon too. From day one, Karen decided we didn't fit her standards. Our fence too rustic, our mailbox apparently in violation, the chickens too noisy. Never mind that we aren't even in her HOA. Our private easement just touches their back road, and that was enough for Karen to declare war. The day she banged on our gate and demanded access to the lake, "It's an HOA resource," she screeched like she was on TV. I told her no. Angela told her to get lost, but with less sugar. That's when the real fun began. Karen started mailing fake violations, left complaints on our voicemail, and my personal favorite flew a drone over our backyard to document infractions. That was it for me. I put up cameras, reinforced the gate, even rigged a loudspeaker to blare, "You are trespassing," whenever she got close. You'd have thought I installed landmines. But last Friday, she took it up a notch. I'm feeding horses Angela's at the sheriff's office, and suddenly the security monitor pings. There's Karen parking her SUV sideways like she's blocking a crime scene, storming up to the gate, pounding the intercom. "This is public access. I'm calling the police," she yells, not realizing the police is my wife today. Angela keeps her cool, "Ma'am, stay put. Deputy will be there soon." When Rodriguez arrives, Karen goes on about community safety and citizen arrest authority. Rodriguez, who's seen it all, just asks, "Ma'am, do you have documentation? This is your property." She doesn't, of course. He tells her she's trespassing, and next thing you know, she's in cuffs, hair flying, sunglasses barely hanging on. I swear it was more satisfying than watching a rival team fumble on the 1-yard line. But if you think that's where it ends, you've never tangled with a true HOA queen. 3 days later, we get an official letter. Not the usual, "Your mailbox is the wrong shade of beige" nonsense. No, this one's from a law firm accusing us of illegally restricting community access to our own lake, quoting some ancient easement clause that was, get this, for road maintenance, not for Karen's pool float and mimosas. Angela and I head to the courthouse, dig up the original deeds, and the clerk, old-timer, knows everyone confirms it's our land, always has been. Karen's just stirring trouble. We call Dan our lawyer rancher, by day legal eagle, by night. He looks at the documents, laughs, and says, "Let's hit back." He files a countersuit for harassment, trespassing, defamation, you name it. At this point, it's not about money. It's about telling people like Karen, you can't weaponize the HOA against honest folks. Meanwhile, the neighborhood grapevine is buzzing. Emily's horseback instructor, Miss Paula, tells us the HOA board is freaking out. Karen went rogue. Nobody else wants her war. And suddenly dues-paying residents are demanding to know where their money's going. About time, if you ask me. But Karen, she doesn't quit. 2 days later, she's back, this time dragging 3 other board members, one with a printed notice of access reinstatement taped right to my gate. When she pulls out bolt cutters, I step out and tell her flat, "Put those down, Karen. That's destruction of private property." She laughs. "This land belongs to the people. Now I'm dialing 911. Angela's got the whole thing recorded, and Rodriguez rolls up again, this time with backup. Cameras catch everything, even when Karen shoves her own board member and yells, 'Don't just stand there, cut the lock.' She gets cuffed again. Board members slink away, and as she's loaded into the cruiser, she screams, 'You have no idea what you're hiding on that ranch. I'll expose you.' Yeah, sure, Karen." That night we catch a shadow on the security cameras, someone in a hoodie sneaking by the barn, ducking under the fence line. Next morning we find a Sweet Briar Hills parking tag in the dirt, broken latch boot prints everywhere. I confront Grant Douglas, the only board member who looked scared that day. He confesses Karen's working with outside developers, real estate guys, trying to prove the old easement gives them rights to our lake. They're planning a marina, for crying out loud. It's about money, always was. They've already filed paperwork with the county calling it Sweet Briar Lake, our lake, like it's a done deal. Angela and I go public town hall meetings, surveillance videos, flyers all over Sweet Briar. The real twist, Karen barges into the meeting waving fake documents claiming boundary rights from the 70s. Angela calmly holds up the real deed, exposes Karen's forgery, and our lawyer announces we're pressing charges. Rodriguez is right there, handcuffs ready, and Karen's taken away again. The crowd erupts. HOA members start demanding audits, and that's when the real estate developer Lawrence Miles steps into the picture, slick as a weasel, threatening new lawsuits, swearing they'll bleed us dry with court fees. We don't flinch. Angela digs up grant applications Karen filed for state funding, all based on fraud. We countersue for conspiracy, and Fraud Town support rolls and donations pour into our legal fund, and suddenly the judge issues a protective order. Any more action from the HOA or developer is contempt of court. The opposition tries bribery, tries threats, even leaves a note on our barn. You can't guard it forever. Cameras catch everything. We hand it all to the sheriff, then the DA, then when things start looking national, to a federal investigator. Turns out this isn't just our fight. Barford Realty has tried these land grabs all across Texas, sometimes with help from city officials. When Karen and Lawrence's emails surface promising bribes, making threats, colluding with local politicians, the feds get involved. One night a threat comes through aimed at our daughter. That's it. We're moved to a safe house. Federal agents sweep the ranch, and now it's a national story. Karen goes to trial, fraud, racketeering, land theft. Angela testifies. The jury sees footage of Karen spray painting our gate, forging documents, and cutting deals for kickbacks. The verdict, guilty on all counts. 9 years in prison, $250,000. Restitution, HOA dissolved. Burford Realty, bankrupt executives indicted. We come home to a quiet ranch and a grateful community. Sweet Briar Hills votes to dissolve their HOA. The first thank you note is from Grant. You didn't just save your ranch, you saved us all. Now we get letters from across the country. Other families, small landowners, people who've been pushed around by HOAs and shady developers. Angela folds one up and slips it into our Bible. Sometimes God plants you in a valley, she says, just so you can show others how to build bridges. So yeah, Karen called the cops, tried to break our gate, dragged in lawyers, even brought the whole HOA. But in the end, she didn't know who she was messing with. Have you ever faced something unfair and felt like giving up? Don't. Stand your ground. Justice may take its time, but trust me, it always finds a way. Now, if you stuck with me through all this, I gotta ask, what would you have done if you were in our boots? Drop your thoughts below. Share your own stories, and let's talk about what justice really means in a world where a pink tracksuit and a clipboard can start a war. See you next time.